All right, welcome back. December 2018. I got the big shack out, and I figured I would go through real quick. I know I get going on stuff, and next thing you know, I'm rambling about everything under the sun. So a lot of people have been asking questions about the bunks, and a lot of people have been asking questions about the buckets for the whole sleeves. So real quick before I get into that, I'll just go through from last year. Those of you guys that watched, I did a few modifications this year. I added in some more shelving, so corner shelf over there, just to give yourself a place to put your cell phone and stuff. A couple basket shelves. I love these. You get them from Menards. They're like $6. They just screw on. They're real sturdy. I've actually got a bunch of them. Two there, one there, tackle box and stuff. Another shelf up there. Another basket up there, and for $6. Oh, and then that one up there. So you can't go wrong to just screw it on wherever you want it. So really, that's about all I've done for mods. Oh, I did add a ceiling fan. I had a 110 light up there originally, but I noticed that when we spend the night, we usually run the generator all night, and so it's just nice having that fan to help circulate the air. Other thing I did is I upgraded my heater. The heater I had last year was just a cheap Procom, like $98, and it didn't have a thermostat, so it was manual. You had to just set it. This one here, you can actually adjust it, and it shuts on and off. I figured like it doesn't actually tell you the temp. It's got like 1 through 5. 1 is about 65, 2 is about 70, 3 75, and so on from what I've figured. So anyways, to the buckets. This year, as you guys probably seen, I'll show you, we don't got anything for snow. There's just a light dusting on the lake, but it's miserable to try to bank your house. Especially mine, it's up 3.5 inches, and it has to be that way because of the way the jack is, unless I drilled a hole and tried to recess that jack in. So mine has to sit up kind of high, so it's a pain to bank it. So rather than spend $20 a piece on the catch cover hole sleeves, I just use some buckets, cut them down. And some of you guys probably have seen the video I posted when this fall when I was going to do it. As you can see here, that one's got a there we go. So as you can see, just cut them down to the right height. They slide right in, and it actually forms a nice shell around. They work really good. Just like that, they seal up tight around the edges, and I haven't had any issues with them whatsoever. So I really like them. I don't know what I'd do this year without them, because like I said, we don't have any snow. So for those of you that might be considering getting some catch covers, you might want to think about maybe just using some buckets. The only downfall is this little bit of a lip on them. As you can kind of see, they sit a little proud of the floor, but it's not the end of the world. Kind of helps remind you where the hole is anyways. So to the bunks, real quick, I'll try to go over as best I can. People have been asking me for plans and stuff, and to be honest with you, I just winged them when I made them. So how I did it is I made my bed frames, made my boxes, you can kind of see here, framed them up. This is all 1x2 steel, and then I have some 1x1 angle, or maybe it's 1.5 by 1.5 angle, welded on the inside just to give me some support for the plywood. And then I have one cross piece here that's just a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch square that goes from top to bottom to help support the center. I found out after I did that I actually needed more support, so I ended up putting these little pieces of angle in the corner to help support it. The second set of bunks we made for actually a buddy's, we put 2 braces, one here and one here instead of the one in the center, and that seemed to work a heck of a lot better. So yeah, basically it's just plywood bolted down on the top, and it sits flush with the bunk. Along the back side, they're hinged. There's a hinge there, there, and over on the other end, there's 3 of them. What I did though is I knew ahead of time I was going to be putting bunks in here, so some of you guys that have seen the video of the slideshow that I made of the fish house, you can see I have backers in the wall running there and down here. Just so that way it didn't matter where I put my hinges. So something to keep in mind if you have a house that's already existing, you might want to make sure you put your hinges in a place you can get good, get into some good studs back behind it. Anywho, so basically built 2 boxes, identical, and then this here, once I figured out the height I wanted off the floor, and then the height here, and I got it 3 feet and then 3 feet, so that way it's 16 inches off the floor. 16 inches, then 3 feet gap, then a 3 foot to the ceiling. What that does, it allows me to be able to sit here, and then actually a guy can sit on the top, which is nice. Then what I did here for these is I capped off my 1x2, same 1x2 I used for the frame. And I actually took a piece of solid stock, I think it was 1/2 inch, round solid stock, and I welded it through this, and then welded the backside, ground it off, and then butted this piece up to it. And then in between here, there's a washer just laying loose as a spacer. Then this, then another washer, and then this washer I actually welded. That way it allows this to pivot nice and free in between. Basically, I just repeated that there, and there, and then there and there. And that was it. And then it was just a matter of measuring up, putting them on the wall, and bolting them down. And these here, let me see if I can't set this up. Maybe if I can get her to prop up here somewhere, I'll show you real quick. You have to forgive my awesome camera skills here. I'm in the fish house by myself, so it is what it is. There we go. So anywho, pull these pins. This one's a little stiff. There we go. And then the bunks just rotate down off the wall. Oh, in the bucket. There you go. And then the mattresses typically are underneath. You just take them off, put them on the top. And then to get them back up, you just pick them up. And then, watch out for your bottom. And then put the pins back in and you're good to go. Hopefully that helps. I mean, honestly, I didn't have, everybody's asking me for plans. I didn't have any plans drawn up when I did them, so just measured and a little bit of ingenuity, and there you have it. For the pins, all I did was I took the same 1/2 inch square solid stock, or not solid stock, 1/2 inch square tubing. I took the same stuff there and just cut 2 little pieces, and as you can see, just welded them on so that way it makes a nice place for the pin to slide through. And then it locks the bunks up really nice and secure to the wall. And then bungees with some hooks. And then the mattresses, and you can see I've got them doubled up over there because when you sleep it's a heck of a lot more comfortable having 2 than 1. But if you have all the bunks folded up, you can just put the mattresses underneath, 1 on each bunk. Anyways, I hope that answers some questions on the bunks. Like I said, a guy can make them out of aluminum, they'd be a heck of a lot lighter. The only other thing I did that I added on actually this year, I got a little guy, he's 6, and I was always worried, he liked sleeping on the top, but I was always worried about him falling off. So I actually bolted this little piece of cargo net down to the bunk, and then up here, it's just got hooks with some paracord threaded through. So you can unhook it, and then this can just get tucked right up underneath the mattress if you have an adult on it, but then if you have a kid, you can pull it down and hook it right back up. Kind of hard to do with one hand. You get the idea. And that way it gives him a, there you go, a little extra security up there so I don't got to worry about him falling. But anywho, I'm going to go pick up a buddy and we're going to drop some lines down and do some fishing. So hopefully that helps answer some of your questions. If there's anything else you want to see, just let me know. All right. Have a good one, guys. See ya.